Anyway, let's talk about our final story out of Oregon. These are the Safe Rest Villages. Really cool concept here. Now, Portland has announced 3 new Safe Rest Village locations as of Thursday this week. Safe Rest Villages are essentially outdoor shelters for homeless people to be secure from the elements for an evening. These places are going to be at the Menlo Park and Ride, the 2300 block of Southwest Nato Parkway, and a paved lot southeast of 45th Avenue and Harney Street, all in Portland. Size of these are going to vary, but each of these will have an average of about 60 occupants per night. They are going to be 3 more sites in the future that are also going to add about 60 occupants per site. Some of these are heated, some of them aren't, depending on what the individual's needs are. These haven't quite been staffed yet, but we're looking at getting an additional 3 to 6 over the next 6 months to a year. So, Dain, these are safe resting places are supposed to be a temporary fix, but Multnomah County is unwilling to guarantee continued funding beyond 2024. Do you think Portland will be able to use this to help solve its homelessness crisis by then?
I don't think this is...
In the next 3 years?
I don't think this is... In general, I don't think the idea of shelters and safe rest sites help solve the homelessness problem. I think they are a symptom of the homelessness problem. It's just a way for it. It's a cool development that does help people, but it only they only help manage the still growing issue of homelessness. So if your plan is to just build enough places to where every homeless person in America can sleep warm, I guess cool. But you're not doing anything to slow the growing rate of homelessness in the area.
So do you think this is effective when, assuming it scales up, because obviously right now the scale is tiny, 360 beds we're talking about right now for a, tens of thousands of homeless folks, if not more, in the in the Portland and also up here in Seattle. Do you think that this is going to, when scaled, actually help with the issue, or do you think that this is just a I think it has to be in tandem with other programs. Yeah. I think it can't just be a place to stay and then you're doing nothing to affect this person's ability to get a job, ability to get mental health, mental health care, their ability to just improve their situation in general. And if you're not doing anything to change that, they're just going to be coming back every night. And do you think it would be helpful then to attach social services to each of these sites, to have them, because they're still looking to staff these sites, right? So would it be helpful to staff these sites, with people that have skills in social services and connections to social services, or even have them staffed by social service personnel?
Well, absolutely, but you have to be careful to not turn it into like the revolving door soup kitchen-esque kind of thing, where it's just like people just come in, get the night sleep, and then leave, and then they're not doing anything. They obviously, yes, you have to have social services attached to these kinds of sites. Make it as easy as possible for anybody who comes in who wants to get help, who is willing or able to be very proactive about it, to get help. But there has to be other efforts as big as policy that are changing in these kind of places and all over America in order to actually affect the issue. It's very clear that we're not doing enough. So just attaching social services, which is already underfunded and underpowered and doesn't have the resources to affect as much change as we need it to, just because you stretch them even thinner and attach them to something like this, it's not going to help the situation.
Yeah. Okay. I see I see where you're getting at. Personally, I definitely think that this is a good program.
Definitely.
But I do share a lot of your concerns.
It's dope, but we're not doing anything to help these people long term.
Exactly.
If you're a single night is not an address to put on a resume. A single night is not a place to a single night in a possibly heated outdoor space is not enough to kick a drug habit. The site isn't going to be enough for these people to exact change in their life. It's going to be a place for them to survive, and we're continuing to put people into the cycle of survive instead of giving them the ability to start to thrive in their life.
I think that's how we have been treating the homelessness population, or the homelessness crisis as a whole. Is like, hey, we're going to keep throwing you a bone just to survive.
Scraps, yeah.
While we try to figure out what to do with you. When every night, especially right now as the days are getting colder, every night more people are going to freeze to death on the streets of Seattle and Portland and San Francisco.
What we should be, in my opinion, something that we should be allocating funds to is long-term programs that people can, from these sites, sign up for and then enter into, that gives them housing, meals, address, clothing, all the things they need to begin to get up on their feet. A facility like this should have a mental health facility attached to it. It should have general physical health attached to it. Everyone who works there should be educated in drug detox and rehabilitation. I would like to see funding into programs like that take a year, 2 years to get somebody in a better place, in a place that they can use as a jumping off point. Yeah,
that empowers, takes people and empowers them and gives them their life.
And there's a lot of places that do that already.
We've talked about several.
Yeah, and it's the way we've been talking about Compassion Seattle is like there's a lot of places that are already doing this that just need the funding. And instead of these 6 sites going up, the money that these 6 sites could be used and given to these already existing and operating programs.
Yeah, the NGOs and what have you.
Yeah, to make major change in the homelessness community and thus in the homelessness crisis.
Absolutely. And that influx into NGOs can be coupled with a program like this, can be scaled up with, larger programs. Alrighty.